Dear Mr. President, dear colleagues, first of all, I want to thank our Kokoomus friends and the EPP for co-hosting this Congress in Helsinki. The 100th anniversary of Kokoomus demonstrates how deep are the roots of European center-right political tradition. These are not easy times for traditional political parties. All kinds of movements without clear ideology, shady sources of financing, and lack of oversight are mushrooming across Europe. Party systems are challenged, liberal democracies are under strain. Traditional parties need to consolidate supporters and gain voters' trust anew. However, not by succumbing to populism, not by sacrificing principles of democracy. We must now open to a wider spectrum of our society by taking smart decisions, by promoting inclusive dialogue, by returning back from elite politics to people-centered politics. My party, the Homeland Union, stands firmly on this path. Just last weekend, we successfully implemented our landmark decision. The party's candidate, our national Spitzenkandidat, so to say, in the presidential election was elected in open primaries. Not only members of Homeland Union, but also tens of thousands of willing Lithuanian citizens who supported values of our party had a first-time opportunity to have their say in party's decision. Open primaries were and are good for consolidating the party and equally good for participatory democracy. I come from a country where popular support for EU is the highest among EU member states. But even in our tiny Baltic land, populists are springing up to challenge that and the values that the EU is standing for. United Europe is not a source of problems. United Europe is a source of our strength, even if we give away part of our sovereignty in exchange. My party is very clear and vocal about it. We are pro-Europe. Therefore, before letting ourselves into a vortex of quarrels, let's not forget the fundamentals. There is no alternative to the European Union. Without the EU and NATO, many members would lose their sovereignty and independence without having a say in the process. Today, we need a brave Europe. Europe that is able to recognize internal and external challenges to its development or even to its very existence. Europe that is able to act accordingly. We need Europe that is open to countries in the south and in the east who are willing to reform. Therefore, I call on your support for Ukraine's transformation and membership perspective with a clear time frame. We need Europe that is secure and able to sanction those who are trespassing red lines. Therefore, I call on strengthening sanctions to Kremlin and adopting Magnitsky Act. We need Europe that has strong allies. Therefore, I call on strengthening our transatlantic bond and relations with all democracies around the world. And let's not kid ourselves. Today, we're not defending just the union of 60 years. We are defending the values that took 2 millennia to form. If we get mired in the technical debate, we might forget why the debate started at all. Therefore, there has never been a more important time for European countries to be reminded that we stand for common values of democracy, rule of law, freedom, and dignity of the fellow human being. EPP was in the forefront of defending these values in EU and elsewhere. Now, as those values are being challenged not only by our neighbors, but by our friends in EU as well, EPP has to step up and once again remind what we are fighting for. Thank you.